Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, after 2 years, it's finally here, and it's yours. Season 2 of the Chad and Chong podcast starts right now.
We don't have an intro song. We don't have anything to cue to.
We don't have graphics. We don't have an intro. We don't have an outro. But we are in the flesh 2 years later. Welcome to the Chad and Chong podcast, season 2, episode 1. I'm Chad.
And I'm Chong.
Welcome to season 2 of the Chad and Chong podcast. To everyone who tuned into season 1, thank you so much. We hope you're still here. It's been 2 years. There's been a lot that's happened in our lives as individuals and together. Maybe not.
Collectively, you know.
Some stuff has happened, but we're so excited to be back. We're so excited to just share with you what life's been like the last 2 years. And we're excited for this new season. We have so much in store. And really, we're such perfectionists and professionals, and we really want it to look good and all that. But we're like, what's more important? We should probably just get it out.
Yeah.
And we want you, our viewers, our listeners, our community to just really be excited with us and just to come on this journey with us. And so, just to start it off, Chong, where have you been the last 2 years? What have you been up to, man?
Well, you and I, not together, but we did get engaged.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, man. Getting married in September, so that's a big thing coming up later this year. Toured a little bit with Anna. We did about 55, 60 shows, so we stay busy with that. A lot of Disney stuff, corporate events. But, right now it's wedding season. As you know, you're getting married in May. So It's just coming up a lot quicker. Yeah. Maybe we should start with you because that's coming up, and I'm sure that the crowd wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, well... So I got engaged as well. I think we both got engaged at the same year, right?
December?
Well, mine was January.
Okay, so mine was December 2023.
Oh, mine's 2024.
Yeah.
So just by a month.
Yeah, by a month. Yeah.
By a month, yeah. So I proposed to my lovely fiance now, Michelle, and we're going to get married at the end of May. And I'm hoping that we do a Chad and Chong podcast in Hawaii.
In Hawaii, that'd be dope. Yeah.
Drop it in the comments if you guys want to see that happen.
Yeah. And where? Because we can make it happen. Atlantic High, North Shore, by the trucks.
Yeah, maybe. I'm getting married, but, we'll see what we can make happen, But yeah, I'll be getting married at the end of May. I'm really excited about that. And so we've been preparing of, living life together as a married couple. And you're getting married?
September. Out here in California. So, in the Temecula Valley area. Super stoked about that. Venue's ready to go. Some things I still got to figure out on my end. Mostly what we're having for dessert. Big responsibility, and Sam has assigned me also the task of putting the band together. So this, I don't know how you're doing it for music, but for my wedding, we're gonna have 2 bands and 1 DJ. So the first band is gonna be comprised of some of my closest friends, people that I've worked with for the last 10 years. In the industry. So that's a huge blessing to be able to have them join me on such a special day. And then the other band we're going to have is Cuban Quartet.
Wow.
So, for my, family, I'm from Peru, so my family loves Latin American styles of music. So, that's going to be the second half of the reception. And then my brother is going to DJ the night away the last 2 hours. So we got a lot of music.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm actually going the opposite direction. No band.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so this is, I guess, a musician thing maybe, huh?
Yeah.
Trying to, showcase or have a good reception maybe, since everybody knows you're a musician. It's like, you of course want to give a good entertainment package to your guests and just have a memorable night. For me, I thought about it long and hard, and it's like, yeah, of course I wanted to do that, but, I really wanted to focus in on my guests having just the best time and maybe just the most relaxed time and really enjoying each other's company.
Yeah.
And since it is in Hawaii, it's a little bit more of a destination, but I really wanted to give my guests a real tropical Hawaiian feel.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed that we're gonna have some sort of Hawaiian entertainment, themed entertainment. But yeah, so I'm not gonna do the whole band thing. It's really we're focusing on food, the environment, which is, beachside. So it's going to be beautiful. But yeah.
That's awesome, and yeah, I mean, the wedding planning, for those of you that are married, it's a lot for you. I don't know how you went about the process of deciding you wanted to do a destination wedding. We tried doing that because we did consider doing Hawaii, but since music is such a big part of my life, I was like, okay, I can't call in favors in Hawaii. I mean, I could potentially bring my friends and have them play for free, but I still have to pay for their flights, their hotel stays. So it's not going to work. So that's why we opted to do it here instead of going to Hawaii. I don't know what went behind the process of you deciding on destination.
Yeah, so it's not a destination for us since Michelle was born and raised in Hawaii.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's actually home for her. Yeah, man, weddings are it's so crazy expensive, bro. And I was born and raised here in California, and it's like I also want to, like, all my family and friends to be there, but and we thought about having two, maybe like a reception here as well, but it's so much planning involved, so much time and resources and all that. But it's a lot. It's a lot to plan for those of you who are married. It's a lot of planning. But thankfully, like, being in the music industry, we both kind of understand how weddings work.
Yeah.
And all the planning and logistics and all that. And so, it's like there's some stressful parts, but really, I hats off to Michelle again, my fiance, who's really been doing most of the work. And I've just kind of been there as like a second opinion if she needs it or something. But it's really, I want it to be an exciting, relaxing, and just enjoyable time leading up to it. And so trying to approach it, no stress, nothing too crazy, elaborate, and just really focusing in on the quality time and the environment, and just hoping, that those things will just make it more memorable.
Yeah. Sam's excited. Sam's my fiance, and so we're definitely looking forward to that. I mean, it's all we've been talking about this year. I'm trying to also plan my bachelor weekend. We were initially going to do a joint bachelor weekend with the bachelorettes and the groomsmen, but half of the group couldn't go. We wanted to go to Cancun, Mexico for about 4 days or so, but half the group couldn't make it. One of my groomsmen actually, just had a baby as well. So that's another, thing that kind of held us up. Congratulations, Michael. I'm not saying it's an inconvenience. I'm just saying I totally understand. So we had to kind of switch things up. I don't know what are you doing for your bachelor weekend?
I have no idea. I haven't thought about it. We'll see what's planned, but
yeah.
Excited.
Yeah. It's all, it's all going to work out, in the end, but that's what's going on. You toured also last year with AJ, yeah? And you've been working with AJ how many years now?
Man, I've known AJ for a long time, AJ Raphael. And yeah, we actually toured the last 2 years since it's been 2 years. Same amount as you, but we basically did a tour. We called it the Take Me Back tour. And in a way, it was, I think it might have been like 10 years, literally a decade since the last legit tour. We've done fly dates here and there and shows here and there, but this was a legit tour. I don't remember how many dates we did. I know last year, 2024, we did, I think, 4 or 5 separate legs, all across America. And then the year before that, 23, we also did a couple legs. A lot of shows sold out, and so we added, night 2s to a lot of them.
Yeah.
It was extremely, extremely memorable. It was a lot of fun. And you could just see, from the crowds and people's faces. I feel really proud because I do feel like we took them back to those good times.
Yeah.
And all those nostalgic memories. You could definitely tell. People were feeling it, and it was all in their faces, and so it was such a treat to see it from on stage. It's touring's a lot different when you're in your mid 30s than when you were in your 20s. I'm sure we'll have episodes when we'll go in depth about touring and all that, but I'm glad we did it. It was a lot of fun again because everybody on the band is like we're really close. We're really more than just a band. We're brothers, and we do life together. So that was a lot of fun. We did all across America. We even went to Canada, East Coast, the South. We ate a lot. And that's definitely one of the highlights of tours, just being able to try all the different cuisines.
Yeah.
But we also we worked it out because we were also the crew on this tour. So
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
We brought a whole production with us, a whole tour bus trailer situation where we're the crew setting everything up. So for all you guys who were out on tour and saw us, we set up that set, from the backdrops to the video screens, the lighting, obviously all of our instruments, backline, all of our sound, everything. We were the crew. So we would arrive at a venue and set everything up, then do sound check, have a little dinner, and then do the show, and then pack everything up, midnight, then the bus moves on to the next city. So again, as a middle 30-year-old, human being, it was tiring. It was definitely exhausting, but it was a lot of fun, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't say I did the same. I mostly just brought a pair of sticks, my cowbell, and ready to go. I'm thankful for that. Great experience. What was your favorite place to visit?
There was definitely a lot of memorable spots on tour, but I'd have to say it probably goes down to Chicago. For those of you that know me, I spent about 2.5 years living in Chicago, made a lot of great lifelong friends who I now call family. And that was almost like a homecoming for me. It's been, I don't know, like over a decade, I think.
Wow.
Well, close to, I think I left Chicago in 2014. So, going back there and just seeing all my friends, and they're crazy, shout out to all the Chicago friends. You guys are just like so loud and being obnoxious. But yeah, that was super memorable, man. Like, did you have a favorite stop on all your travels?
Yeah, definitely East Coast. I love New York. New York is always a place I love to visit, but it was my first time going to Puerto Rico this time. We went to San Juan, got to visit Old Town, Puerto Rico, went to, I can't remember, it's the jungle out there, basically. The beaches were beautiful, the food was amazing, the culture, the music, literally everything about Puerto Rico was a great time, so that was something I definitely look forward to, and we were there, about a week or so. It wasn't long, and then we did Puerto Rico Friday, flew to Miami Saturday. I think after Miami we were done, actually. Maybe Sunday we flew back home, but great time. It was an amazing experience, and I definitely hope to go back. Next time I go back, for sure, my wife. Wow. Will be joining me, so I'm excited about that.
Maybe we could do like a double,
husband-wife
type of trip.
Why not? Man, have some mofongo.
Yeah, mofongo. There you go. So it seems like both of us did a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
We did a lot of eating. We did a lot of touring. We did a lot of music. What else happened in the last 2 years with you, Kev?
Since we've been gone for about 2 years now, we did. I think it's 2 albums with Influence Music. I think we talked about it last time. Maybe it was at the Grove in Anaheim. Mm-hmm. We did that, and then we shot another. We did another album at the church, Influence Church. That was last year, I believe, in July or August of that time. So 2 full records. We're talking about 8+ songs each album. This past year, actually, we were able to record a studio album with Influence. It's my first instance doing, such a thing with them, and it was great. That's going to be about 8 songs as well. It'll probably be out later this year in August or September. Singles will come out probably in July, June or July as we, get later in the year. But that was a lot of fun. And so, busy with that, still doing a bunch of wedding stuff. As you know, you guys know, I do a lot of corporate events, private parties, weddings, do all that stuff. I'm trying to think in all the years that I've been doing professional music, how many weddings I've played. Because we just talked about how we've been and attended and, been a part of so many weddings. I'm going to say ballpark, maybe 400.
Jeez.
In the last 10 years, maybe. What do you think for yourself?
Yeah, it's believable. Yeah, I'm probably half that, which is still a lot. If you think about even just once a month, but now imagine once a weekend, sometimes twice a weekend.
Right.
That's already 100 in a year.
Yeah.
And I know you've been doing it for a lot longer than me, so that's a lot of weddings.
Yeah,
man.
it's a lot.
You've probably seen every venue in California already. I feel like at this point,
I've toured every venue in California for sure. Yeah, and it's great, and you kind of bring it up to the point. We're kind of circling back to the main. To our first point of our wedding, you get to see what you like and what you don't like. What you want to be a part of your special day and what you don't. So I think that has helped a lot in navigating how we are structuring our wedding day, because we definitely want it to be something memorable for not just for the people that attend, but for ourselves. Sam's always sending me TikToks about, hey, we should do this, and make sure that, for example, I don't know, during the ceremony, people take out their phones to take pictures, but that takes away from the photographer, who's all the way at the back of the aisle trying to capture a photo, and somebody's hand is in the frame,
or the giant iPad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the aunt that came from wherever, and brought it. So yeah, I mean, but a lot of corporate events, man. We've been doing a lot of that. And then just a lot of stuff with Anna Barbara, which has been great. You were able to come to YouTube Theater.
Yeah.
First time at that venue, yeah?
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. For those of you who don't know, the YouTube Theater is connected to SoFi Stadium, which is the football stadium where the LA Rams play. So that was really cool. Kev got me and my fiance Michelle in. And this isn't the first time I've seen you with Anna, but that venue is amazing, man. And I think I told you after the show, it felt like a Vegas production, venue with all the LED screens, and the sound was incredible. The lights. I think you even had little
pyro.
Yeah, little cannon blasters and stuff. That was a lot of fun. And then we were sitting with Sam, so it was really cool cheering you on. We're like, we're here for the drummer, like more cowbell, and you definitely played more cowbell at that show, man.
Shout out to I have to say this, man. I bought this cowbell from Colombia. So this cowbell is called Campana Tono Pescado. It's a brand. Okay, and I have the J2 Special, which is mounted onto the drums. It sounds amazing. It cuts through really good in both my ears and apparently through the house.
Through the house, absolutely.
So with Ana, man, we're doing cumbia music, so it has to drive, it has to feel good. We're also using tracks. Because of the fact that we don't have a percussionist on stage, I assume a lot of the responsibility when it comes to the rhythm, the rhythmic part of the song. So the cowbell has to cut through. So just a quick shout out to Tono Pescado, which is an amazing brand from Colombia. Love you guys. But yeah, man. So what about you, Chad? What else has been going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's been 2 years. Aside from all the touring, I'm still doing church. So I'm still the worship director over at my church in Camarillo. A lot of live sound gigs here in LA. A lot of different types of gigs. I've done, crazy enough, I've done the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Awards for the third year now.
Amazing, man.
I've also done the MPSE, the Motion Picture Sound Editor Golden Reel Awards for the third year now. So it's really cool to have kind of the trust of those organizations, for them to trust me to run sound for their event. That's really cool. And, totally something that I didn't see in my forecast, but I got into the film industry.
That's right.
And I worked for a pretty large animation studio. I learned a ton, man. There's a lot of things that obviously translate, with sound and whatnot, but just to learn how, an animation movie is crafted, really from the beginning all the way up to distribution. And I even got to go to a cast and crew premiere of one of the movies that released on Netflix. Saw the composer Alan Menken, who did Lion King and Aladdin and all those kinds of things. It's a whole different world, and yet there's still a lot of similarities. But yeah, man, really been busy the last year, especially leading up to the wedding, and I was finding myself working 7 days a week, sometimes doing double shifts between all of the gigs and jobs that I was doing. But yeah, now I'm excited to just kind of take a little breather before the wedding, and still doing the studio thing. We're actually here in my studio. I actually moved my studio.
That's right. Thank God. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Lord.
So, yes. Part of this set, looks maybe a little familiar. Maybe it looks a little bit different from season 1. I'm not too far from the LA area. Still, technically, still considered the LA area, but a lot closer to Orange County. And we upgraded, got some lights going on, and just trying to up our production value for all of our viewers. And looking forward into season 2. Kev, what can our viewers expect from us?
We definitely have a lot of collaborations in mind, as well as maybe some food tours, where when we say tour, we mean like, okay, what Peruvian restaurant should we start with here in Orange County, right? And we'll rate it. You know, being Peruvian, my standard's pretty high. So, you know, Chad, not far off though, because he's a foodie himself. You know, so a lot of that. We're also going to try to get some BTS of some of the gigs coming up, right? Both on Chad's end and my end. So, you know, we'll be doing a lot more of that, like what goes behind the, you know, setup of stage, for example, the sound checks, venue performances, area, location, just everything. You know, we want to make this more interactive as far as letting you guys into our lives, what we do on a weekly basis. I think that would be, you know, inspiring for some of you guys that are trying to get into the industry and kind of look at what it's like, right?
We want to show you what it's like, you know, in the life of a real working musician, you know, a person in the music industry. And we want to take you along on the journey as well, you know. We want this to be a moving, dynamic thing. So, you know, drop it in the comments, you know, hit us up on the DMs and tell us what kind of content you want to see. You know, we want to know what's going on in your life, you know. Maybe there's some things that you want us to check out, you know, maybe a new venue or a group or an act that, you know, you want us to check out, or maybe even have guests on the podcast. We definitely invite that, you know, and we just want to kind of grow this community together as we're all trying to achieve our dreams and live out the life that we want to live, doing what we love to do, you know? So that's kind of just some things that you can expect from season 2. We have a lot of things in store for you, and this is evidence that it's going to happen.
That's right.
Because season 2, episode 1 just dropped. So after 2 years of a long-awaited wait, it is here, it is back, it is better than ever. And I think one of the things you're going to be most excited about that we're going to talk about this season is the Lakers, baby. You know, we just got Luka Doncic. You know, we're both huge Lakers fans, but you know, we're just excited for season 2. We thank you for tuning in. As always, please like, subscribe, you know, share this to your friends, and we hope to see you soon in the next one.